Welcome back to another edition of Talk Nerdy to Me, coming to you from Zia Comics broadcast lair in beautiful downtown Las Cruces. I have a comic book review for you, but before we do that, I have one request. Subscribe, it really helps us with the metrics. Pandering over, looky, comic bookie. Boom, Godzilla Rivals. From what I understand, and this is a one-shot, this is Godzilla Rivals with Hedorah. So, I believe, looking at the back, they're showing a bunch of the upcoming ones, and I believe they're going to do a Rivals one-shot for probably pretty much all of Godzilla's foes, because Mothra is coming up next. He's got a lot of foes, and Godzilla is a hot property right now. This one starts, with kaijus are known. They don't know how to stop them. They've already destroyed like Tokyo and Rio de Janeiro. Then you find out, hey, Godzilla's fighting Hedorah in New York City. If you don't know about Hedorah, he looks like a big pile of gooey garbage. But his thing is he can't stand pollution or radiation, so he's going around in New York City. They have a little bit of pollution. And Godzilla, he's a radioactive monster, so he's kind of attracted to those. He wants to take those things out. This dude is flying around town, his sister looks like she's been injured somehow. Well, you don't know it's his sister yet, I shouldn't say. There's someone in the back, he keeps calling her Dr. Korvatz, who is supposedly a head kaiju person. So he's trying to get her to a hospital. Of course, in the middle of New York City with these two huge kaijus fighting, their car gets wrecked. He has to go up through the subway, and he gets over to the hospital, and then he kind of blacks out from the whole ordeal. And the doctor, he tells the doctor, hey, that's Dr. Korvatz, you need to really help her, or nobody's gonna be able to stop these kaiju. She's the head kaiju knowledge person in the world. And that doctor says, hey, look, we looked up Dr. Korvatz. She was born in 1940s. That girl was way too young. We looked in your wallet, and there's a picture of you two together. Who is she for real? It turns out it's his sister, but she was an assistant to Dr. Korvatz. So she might not have the same amount of knowledge, but she knows a little bit about kaiju. She's been working with Dr. Korvatz for a while. So she tells her brother, they escaped from the hospital because they were going to arrest them for impersonation and everything else. They escape, and she tells her brother, there's this specific radiation we can use to repel the kaijus from the city so they don't tear up the city. Problem is, it will kill all the human beings in the area too. And he's telling her, no, I'm not going to let you sacrifice yourself. And she's looking at him, she's like, boop, pushes him off the edge into the hole. She's like, yeah, I'm not going to sacrifice myself. You're going to do it. I would never survive that fall, and I don't have the strength to move the cable to connect it, so it's going to have to be you. So he connects it, and it shoots out this huge burst of radiation, and it ends up not killing him or her or anybody in the area, because Hedorah, as you remember, he soaks up pollution and radiation, so he was close enough that he absorbed all that radiation. It still repelled him. Him and Godzilla, broke off their fight and took off. But he crawls out and has got that, almost a meme-worthy thing. And he's like, oh, you realized that Hedorah was going to absorb all that energy and we wouldn't die, right? And she just looks at him. He's like, right? No. So, last scene is Godzilla and Hedorah heading off in different directions. But Hedorah was getting some good shots in on him. I'm not sure if Godzilla was going to beat him until that point. And like I said, and that's where it ends. So, and it's a one-shot, so there's nothing else going to happen from that storyline. I don't know how many of these Rivals one-shots are going to do, or if these are going to even lead into another story or not. It might just be a bunch of little standalone one-shots. Because people they can't get enough Godzilla, man. They love them some Godzilla. So, yeah, I would say this one, you might want to pick up if you're a Godzilla fan, you're definitely want to pick these up. subscribe to the Godzilla Rivals one-shot line. And I'm going to say I like Godzilla, so I'm going to say I would subscribe just because I like seeing him. I like seeing all the different kaijus. So there you go. That's got my review of Godzilla Rivals, Hedorah, one shot. I should say, I was going to say number one, but if it's a one shot, they're all going to be number ones. Subscribe to it. It's good. That was my review. If you like that review and like to see more like it, subscribe, man. It helps us with the metrics a ton. And while you're at it, why don't you hit the bell icon? You'll be notified whenever we put up a new video. And until you see that new video, later, nerds.
Get nerdy with me. Tell me what game that you get on. Is it COD or Eve? What kind of class do you play, girl? In an RPG?